Morning. About a year ago, we started getting interested in working with AI. So we've built a set of products on top of image generation AI. You can create images specifically fine-tuned towards your style. It was very much our belief that there's no future in which AI is not a big part of everyone's work. So I graduated from Stanford University with a computer science degree, right in the middle of the first .com boom. My mom is Cantonese. She was born in Hong Kong. My grandparents were both born in Guangzhou. So I grew up with my grandparents around me. So I regularly ate Chinese food. We ate zhuk, yao zhao guai, cha xiu bao, dim sum. When I came to China, I wanted to reconnect with that part of my history and that part of my family. I came to China in 2001. It felt like coming home.
你好，咁耐冇見嘅。小孩很大了。是啊，有3个现在。3个。哎，恭喜你啊！谢谢谢谢。So this was my first apartment in Guangzhou. I lived on the 3rd floor up there. Everyone's selling something. It's basically the heart of the entrepreneurial spirit in Guangzhou. 好吃。I lived in Xiguan for about 15 years. There's the Liwan Museum, which happens to be on the street where my grandpa grew up. This is Fengyuan Beijie. My great-grandfather and my grandfather owned a house actually here in this spot. And I love walking down this street and feeling like, I'm walking in the same footsteps as my grandpa. Even though the building's gone, the neighborhood is still here, the feeling is still here, the people are still here, and I really do love it. There's one place, it's called Shunji Binshi in Xiguan. They opened in 1920, and so my grandfather was born in 1910, and his house was around the corner from where their location is. And so I can imagine that my grandpa, when he was a 10-year-old, probably went to Shunji Binshi and got ice cream. 周三. I can't believe it. I've been coming here for over 20 years. This place must have been one of his favorite spots. And if they were making the ice cream that they make now back then I'm sure he would have enjoyed it. You want to try some durian? I did get a chance to tell my grandpa that I lived in Guangzhou when he was, but he was very old. He was 93 at the time. And I told him, I said, I went to find your house and it's really lovely. He gave up everything to raise me and my brother. Wanted to tell him, I wanted to say, I know that you couldn't make it back to China, but I did. I think they did a fantastic job to incorporate new construction, new ideas, and merge them with the old. It turns out to be a really nice place to walk around. When my parents came in 2019, I took them to a place in Jiangmen. We found there a book of descendants dating all the way back to 1273. We found the couplet that's written on the columns in the temple. And you can use the characters in the column to name each generation. And so I named my 2 younger children, one named Meng Yu and one named Meng Ke. The Kong-Macao, the poem on the couplet, is talking about living with integrity and virtue and studying from the greats and following your ancestors and learning from those who came before. Good morning. How you guys doing? All right. So good. That's awesome.
We have to kind of change the way we're addressing the technology part of what we're doing, right?
We'll hire a model to take photos of like things. They have multiple garments, different colors to get dressed on. But that's gonna spend very much money, right? We can change the background easily and change the photo.
You mean change the clothes? Or you are meaning we are generating a blank image?
The VTON only takes 10
Like 10 to 15 seconds?
10 to 15 seconds.
When the model is loaded.
So in 2006, we started the company. We started with 2 people, but we've grown now to about 16 people worldwide. We have 13 people here in the Guangzhou office and doing lots of different software projects. Most of our development work happens here in China.
I have been working with Adeh DeSandies for 16 years. I was sort of a junior programmer when I started working with Adeh. His integrity and his sense of leadership taught me to grow all the way to my current position as a project director.
I was for administrator, and if he didn't encourage me, and I wouldn't think about getting into AI area.
A lot of the research, the AI research, is actually happening in universities in China. We were able to hire these really smart people with masters in mathematics, computer science. It is very much an essential part of building a tech hub or an innovation hub is the university's ecosystem. And in China, where we have really had a strength, that focus on practicality, that focus on applications. One of the things we're doing actually is I'm working with a founder in Africa. So how are things going with the pitch? And we're bringing QR code payments to his country, very much using the lessons that we've learned in China.
I mean, it was one of the best things that happened because people were like, oh my God, just giving multiple people.
When we started talking about GBA, and it enables access to not only clients and customers, but also to partners and sort of networks that enable real connection and real growth.
Adeh means a lot to me. I borrowed office from Adeh to start my own business 50 years ago. And he introduced business, his friend, when they looking for Chinese development teams.
15 years ago now, I started Startup Grind, which is a community event for startups here in Guangzhou with my friend Chance and Carol. We started talking about, entrepreneurships, startups, working with Silicon Valley. We all had our tiny companies with 1 or 2 people, and now, we have 60-person companies, we have 150-person companies. I knew that if I went back to California, I would be able to make a lot more money. But something told me, to keep pushing, to keep looking for something that would really make a difference. I wanted to be part of that story. The incredible explosive growth that happened in China. I mean, the China story.